there's a spot that you can get stuck. Oh, that guy.
Insane people everywhere who
I got
on
you.
every
Okay.
side of everything.
But across the board.
But like overall, do I agree with what they want? No, but
Wait, hang on.
yes.
But there are things that you agree with.
This is why I like the professor, bro. He's honest. He's real.
Is it men? Is it women? Like, who's MAGA?
Both, everyone.
Yeah, you think it's a general.
Yeah, I think it can be
You don't think it's more
anyone.
men than women? Or...
I mean, I think the 2024 election showed us that. Women did not show up to vote, and if they did, they also voted for Trump just as much as they didn't. So it's yes, that's a nice stereotype to like have, and people like to think it. I mean, I wish I could think it too, but you can't because it's not real.
Do you?
So the students are finally realizing that a lot of people apparently are MAGA, and the 2025 election showed that. And I've been, bro, when I say stuff online, people think that I'm pandering or that I'm trying to pick a side, but I'm just being real. A lot of people are MAGA. A lot of people, and it's for really normal reasons. It's more normal than you think. People are MAGA because they don't like the economy. They're MAGA because they don't like what's happening in society. It's stuff like that, and people are like, no, that's not the case. I've been saying for a long time, a lot of people support Donald Trump, and it's because of these main issues, and people just ignored me like I was crazy. But even students are saying it now. So this video is about a college student, Professor Richards, talking to college students about MAGA, what it means, who supports it, and the misconceptions of it. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. All right, you ready? Hang on.
I don't. Am I ready? I don't know.
Oh, dude, get ready for this.
Okay.
Man. This is a big one. What do you think that people most misunderstand about MAGA?
What they actually want to have done for the country, probably, in my opinion. Like I don't think that people automatically like want people's lives to be ruined. I don't think that at all, actually. Like, they don't want people's lives to be ruined based on the policies they support.
So like for example, like tracking down people who are undocumented and kicking them out of the country, or not letting them get a COVID vaccine, or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So they don't want that.
I don't think they completely always understand what it actually is doing to the people.
Okay. Like with the policies of the Democrats.
Correct. I don't think anyone ever really understands, because unless you've devoted your entire life to studying political data, which good for you, that's cool.
Okay, so you think that what's most misunderstood is people have the idea that they're really trying to hurt people. These are really angry people who are mean.
What party have you historically voted for in your life?
Republican.
Who did you vote for?
Trump.
So, now going back to that, because I had a feeling that was going to be the answer.
Which hero
Why
do you think you want to be today?
Basic human rights and expect a relationship with me?
I'm just gonna spoil it. She never says what rights are being taken away.
You don't have
None
to
of
be
these
a
people
witch
having
to
crash
find the
outs over
magic in
politics
this
know
world.
even the smallest
But it
of
does
specific
help.
details on the things that they're mad about,
Now,
or even know what things like rights
who
are.
am I gonna banish
But this
from
person
this
who still
match?
wears a mask in 2025 is a 24-year-old girl who calls herself Raven, and she's talking to her 82-year-old grandpa, Frank. After 1 year of not speaking to him, Raven has decided to interview him and discuss their values.
So, I'm trying not to interject, but can we maybe just simplify it to the way you voted because you just don't agree with the Democratic Party, so you're voting against the Democratic Party? Can we simplify it to that?
Right, that probably describes at least half of the people who are voting.
Can you see it, after all of these questions and having a talk with me, if I continue to have a relationship with you without absolutely any change in your behavior, how I will be enabling fascism?
That's a pretty strong claim. Now, is she going to go into any specific detail on how all these people are fascist? No, not really. Anyway, for the past, I don't know, decade almost, there's been a particularly strong push from leftists to destroy their families over political differences. Personally, I feel like every family has at least one
Pick your
person like
hero.
Raven,
Or
which is
villain,
really not
I'm
that
not
much of an
judging.
issue if they keep their problems to themselves. However, oftentimes it's not just about one person causing a scene. It's that person causing a scene and then trying to narcissistically pit everyone against each other by forcing them to pick sides. Most families are made up of people with varying political views, so it gets a little concerning watching video after video of leftists ripping their families apart over disagreements on politics.
So last night, I told my mom and dad that because they voted for someone who wants me dead, that they no longer have the privilege.
I've watched entire
of having their daughter
realities
and their
consumed by
granddaughter in
chaos.
their life.
I won't
And I
let
told
that
them
happen
never
again.
contact me again. I'm never calling you. I want nothing to do with
30
you.
seconds
I mean,
before you
there are
attack.
just so many
Get
videos
ready.
like this out there.
I went no contact with my
We
parents
find
2
ourselves
weeks
caught
before
in
the
a battle
election
between
because
two
they voted.
dudes
I found
with
out
no
that
way
they
of
voted for
truly
Trump for a
knowing
third time.
which one
They
of them
do
is right.
everything.
We
but
would be
say,
better
I'm
off
so
making a
sorry
deal
that I
with
voted
Mephisto.
to take away your
I
rights
have done that
as a
one day.
woman, as
I
a
can
queer
assure you
person,
we
and
most
as a federal
certainly will
employee.
not.
I don't care, guys. I just
The
want you
battle
to say
starts in
that you're
5,
Nazis now.
4,
So I think the more
3,
nefarious part of
2,
this is the
1.
part where these people are taking multiple
All you need
innocent
to do is
bystanders
capture the
with
mission
them,
area.
like kids,
Got it?
or they're emotionally blackmailing
I
people to
give them
pick a
until
side,
we
all while
walk
repeating
away?
the same few words or phrases like Nazi or you're taking my rights away. I say this because when you have tons of people who in lockstep are saying these same exact things, it's not because they all independently thought of it. It's because they're being told to say it. Here's the argument: punish your family for voting for Trump in 2016. Here's them saying it again this year, but half walking it back, not because they had a change of heart, but because ostracizing Trump voters wasn't an effective strategy. Here's BuzzFeed sharing a bunch of stories and giving social proof to people who disown family and friends over Trump. And here's Joy Reid from MSNBC talking to a Yale psychiatrist who is telling viewers how people who voted for Trump out of their lives.
You know someone voted that way. Do you recommend from a psychological standpoint being around them? If you are going into a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends, who you know have
I am ready to put on a show.
Which implies that it's a mentally healthy thing to do. And that brings us back to Raven.
Hi, I'm Raven. I'm a disabled queer woman.
She's also polyamorous and unemployed, so there's all of her tags. And of course, the purple hair and the septic jersey never fails to identify someone who is not having. That
My
being
work here
said,
is not
let's
done.
have Raven educate us on politics. But first, just for context, this interview was an hour long, but she only uploaded 9 minutes of it. So understand that even though this next moment occurs at almost the start of her video, Raven and her grandpa have been talking for a while.
I would have asked my husband if I was allowed to speak, if my turn to speak, and read my summary and ask you to not interrupt. The series of questions was created to underline and cement segments of our personal and political lives.
You are under my spell.
We cannot put politics to the side.
Dealing with your team's capture progress is past the halfway point.
Slavery and genocide.
I mean, that's a really uninformed perspective on politics. Lots of places that have slavery or near slavery in the modern day. You can't build a country as successful as
Tremble before
and all the great innovations of this country came after it was abolished. Now, if you're a communist, I suggest that you look into Russia, a country that in the 1900s enslaved and mass murdered their own population under communism. The things that they were creating, like railroads, and so that slavery was actually more expensive than free market labor. America did not become a powerhouse because of slavery. America is successful because of its institutional
work here is not
limitations
done.
on abusers. Power is almost always eventually seized by liars, cheaters, and thieves. The countries that do well are the ones that have the best protections against that. This is described very well in a great book that I surprisingly found on the bookshelf on
Your fate is sealed.
Obama with her grandpa refused to vote for the modern history. Now, I'm sure these people know what a spectrum is since they use that word all the time. Politics is a spectrum of relative behavior. There's never going to be a perfect political system where everyone is perfectly happy and everything is okay. Political progress is about making things one step better than it was before, and you have to be realistic about who politicians actually are and how the game of politics is played. I tend to agree with a book called The Dictator's Handbook, where they say that generally the goal of politicians is to stay in power as long as possible while enriching themselves and their friends who got them into power as much as possible.
I am ready to put on a show!
A fact of nature, and designing a system without that in mind will doom that system to fail. This is why the founding fathers of America created things like the Bill of Rights, which sets limitations on power for the purpose of making tyranny more difficult.
I spent years educating you. If you truly unconditionally love me, your politics would reflect that. You wouldn't have spent the majority of your life voting my right to life. That is not unconditional love. I will always be the child in this situation, and you will always be the adult, with many years on me. Allowing a relationship with you would allow you to believe that there are no consequences.
I've made my share of mistakes,
Again, this is not a
but I am
debate.
fighting
These are
every
my
day
boundaries.
to make amends.
Education? You aren't educating anyone in this video. You're talking at someone. Real education takes real care, patience, and kindness. Belittlement, shame, and guilt does not equal education. I'm assuming that Raven means these words to only apply to people who agree with her, because when people don't agree with her, she shames them for not voting correctly, talks to them like they're a child, and threatens abandonment for not having the exact same opinion that she has. And it's not like Grandpa Frank is dismissive of her. Clearly he listens and can accurately say what her values are when she asks.
Do you know what I would label myself with?
Well, I would tend to think that you're neither. Because neither one's doing the right thing.
I wish she uploaded the full hour. I would have loved to hear how her grandpa responded to her question. Instead, we got Raven going on a tirade the whole time. I mean, multiple times she says this is an interview, but anyone watching can clearly see that this is a tribunal where Raven is here to judge and chastise grandpa for voting the wrong way.
My politics and my political life are completely intertwined. You can't vote away my basic human rights and expect a relationship with me. You just can't, Grandpa. I shouldn't have to sit here and list off all of the awful things Trump has done since he got in office. I shouldn't have to. It's my basic human rights that should horrify you at its core. We are drowning as a society. Fucking drowning.
We are drowning, just drowning, guys. Going back to the Trump thing, though, if you're trying to educate someone, maybe you should list out specific examples of wrongdoing from Trump and back that up with evidence. What's this say? Rewatching this, I don't believe he can do better. I'm just trying to convince him he can. He's proved to me at his core he's a man.
The reason why I don't use the term good morning, did you know back in the slavery days, after the masters had beaten us, taken our children, and then left us in a dark shed overnight, they would literally open up the door and they would greet us by saying, "Did you have a good morning?" Meaning, did you cry all night over the things that we've done to your loved ones?
Good morning. I'll take shit that never happened for 1,000, Alex. Does anyone believe this?
When the women used to mourn
You don't have
about
to
their
be a
child
witch
being
to
taken
find the
away
magic in
and
this
sold
world.
to a different
But
slave
it does
master.
help.
Most of these things used to happen in the
who am I
evening
gonna
time.
banish
When
from
the
this
slaves
match?
used to cry about what happened. The white slave masters, the oppressors, will wake up in the morning time. They'll tell the slaves, "Did you have a good morning?"
Now I believe it even less. It seems like every other year these people are trying to cancel another word or a gesture. First they told us the OK sign was a dog whistle to white supremacists, even after they found out that it was a troll. Then they told us that we can't say rule of thumb anymore because of feminism. And now, good morning is offensive. Are these the same people who said that white people can't wear dreadlocks because it's cultural appropriation? Look, a bunch of years ago, this chick felt the need to put her hands on a guy for doing that. I mean, does this girl have any idea how much money black women spend trying to make their hair look like a white woman's?
I love going to white spaces so I can colonize it. I love going to white vacation spots, white bars, white restaurants, and I love when they give you that look when it's like, you're not supposed to be there. And
The
I'm
right
very
heroes
much
could make
so
all
there.
the difference.
I love being in spaces that I'm technically not supposed to be in, and it's the best feeling ever.
Here we go again with more shit that's never happened. Living in a city, I guarantee you that she's never been in a situation where she walked into a bar, The music cuts out and all the white people just stare at her like she's not supposed to be there, like it's some movie. Someone on Twitter was like, how about you colonize this job fair? I agree, this is some unemployed behavior. But you have to ask, what's the point of making all this stuff up? Well, basically, it's a tactic used to spread racial division. To do that, they get special privileges for themselves at the expense of everyone else, including the expense of the people that they claim to help.
Guys, we need Luna CMD.
And this very common tactic of violence has caused a lot of damage to this country. Now, let me
Luna CMD invest one of you change.
reasonable people on the left. When I say leftists, I mean radical leftists like Hassan Piker. He's made a ton of money off of selling false narratives. And the difference between people like him and the radical right, like Nick Fuentes or Richard Spencer, is that the radical right has no mainstream backing, and they have been censored, so they don't really have any power. However, on the other side, the radical left has had a huge backing from big tech and the legacy media for the past decade. In fact, they've gotten so much support and constant signal boosts from these places that anybody on the left with a reasonable take is now considered right-wing. But the good news is that things aren't like they were before, where all we can do is power. Since Elon Musk took two off the now we don't have to worry about being banned for calling out some
probably going to get canceled for this, but Keep Mistress is a whites-only girls Christian camp. They don't even have a token Asian. They don't have a token black person. It is a all-white, white-only, conservative Christian camp. If you ain't white, you ain't right, you ain't getting period. And I think that context needs to be fed in this matter.
Thanks so much. I want to make the same. Goodbye.
Black kids or Asian kids. It's truly incredibly sad to hear that a bunch of kids died. Now, let me provide some context for this clip. A few weeks ago, there was a flash flood in Texas, and the Guadalupe River, which is right near this...
Armed and dangerous! Again! Again!
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
I want to make the same mistake. Stop that vehicle! Before y'all start leaving hate comments on my page about, oh, these are just kids and they don't know no better. The parents of these children who are choosing, and it is a choice in 2025, it is definitely a freaking choice.
Leave them to consume!
Goddamn Texas.
I am ready to put on a show!
With all the black
That's really
all the somehow, someway, you have carved out an all-white,
Armed and again!
Yeah, I have a problem. I have a big problem with it.
Well, maybe black kids don't like going to summer camp. Do you have any actual evidence that racism is occurring or evidence that they're preventing black people from entering? Or is white people merely existing in a space together inherently racist?
I unleash the Vishanti's power!
Anytime they exist in a space without white people. But here's the thing. This retard is no
Goodbye.
Hey, Dee! Enjoy the air fire!
White kids go across her screen as she's talking.
Once again, this is no shade to the girls. I hope they're not but once again, y'all have to understand the climate that we're living through. For these people, they want you to get out.
Maximum force!
Donate your money to the fine. Meanwhile,
You need to teach me that spell, Stephen.
a disappearing. Before you get out there and put on your rain boots.
Now, I'm not saying that I hope these kids die, but just remember that
My work here now, a disappearing.
Leave them to come!
Death as deserving because of who their parents were.
Can someone deal with Iron Man?
framing around deportations, especially because of a lack of proof to catch you up, and you don't want to cross the border illegally. But the
There's still a chance to stop them.
posting my criminal record. I don't know what they were doing. All those stuff charges, real. I mean, I did not hit this. She took the dog shit out of anyone else. Alright?
Armed and dangerous!
How much empathy they have. This is an indicator that you're speaking to a sociopath. So naturally, someone created a give, send, go for her because they thought that Sadie should be rewarded for being racist in a place where race shouldn't even be an issue. That involves children. Why does their race matter? Well, it matters because she wants special privileges, so she wants to create animosity between black and white people and that. And of course, Sadie had a small job in government, so she would have had practice in racism. Black people become outspoken in their hatred of this kind of behavior from people like Sadie. Where a black kid who stabbed a white football player tried to pretend that he was innocent because of racism.
I don't think that's the welcoming committee.
Was he actually a victim?
I'll patch you up.
I am ready to put on a show! Double KO!
Has to do with any actual morality.
Only 60 seconds left.
Accusations of racism as an
That's 3!
whether that be socially through
that's
reputation
better.
or through job opportunities they would otherwise have been seen unqualified for, or through monetary handouts. And this is done at the cost of everybody else's trust and goodwill. If you want to know why things are so expensive or why it's so hard to get a good job, it's because people like this are screwing up the system for themselves. And the more we allow people to
Us against the world! The nice one free down to 30 seconds.
That's a compromise.
Don't let them hurt us.
Maximum pulse!
Hell unleashed!
Armed and dangerous! Again!
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner. Straight has opened a portal. It's the grand finale. Double
Stand up against a full-strength Scarlet Witch.
That person has to work twice as hard to carry your lazy.
The current score is
So, anyway,
0,
people are tired
2,
of being looted by
1.
lazy people or people who make irresponsible choices.
Time to
or
switch
people who
things
don't know
up,
how to budget.
including
so
which
the Trump
side
administration
you're
has
on.
been cutting benefits.
I'm Cayman, and I'm on
You
EBT.
don't have to
And
be
that
a
upsets
witch to find the magic in this world.
Guess what?
But it does help.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
They're cutting EBT.
Sounds great. Why do you need EBT? Get a job. Just to make it so everyone's on the same page, EBT is like a welfare debit card that's used in place of stuff like food stamps.
Just to clarify a few things real quick. I work 50-plus hour weeks.
No, you don't. You wouldn't need food stamps if you were able to work that hard. That, or you need some roommates, or you need to move to a place that's cheaper, or transfer some of those long hours into a skill that pays more.
I am disabled.
I swear, if this person says they're disabled because they have a slight bit of autism,
And I get like $178 a month to use on groceries, and that's being cut entirely. You know what else hasn't been
30
covered for a
seconds
while?
before you attack.
My testosterone.
Get ready.
It's been $62 per week out of pocket, which is why I haven't been
I'm
on
impressed,
it for
kid.
months. It's
That's some
causing health
serious
issues,
tech
it's
you're
causing
wearing there.
hormonal problems.
It's
It's
more
really
than
not
just
a
a
good
suit
thing.
of armor.
I mean, that
Spiders
kind of
like
sounds like a
partners.
personal problem.
Kind of like your tree.
That tree is a Flora Colossus, and his name is Groot.
Well, now that we've all been the battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Everything was decided does not happen for a reason.
Every encounter.
Look who's here.
You're welcome.
That's good. that vehicle to its destination.
They only have one here, a rocket spawning at the other spawn. Push.
Get back. Okay, gone.
Let's start with the Terran.
We have to go underneath the surface of this planet.
Healer Z, push. Push the payload.
Feeling stronger already.
This is real firepower! Enjoy the amplifier! Enemies on approach. Pulse charge! Fire! Armed and
Final score 2-1.
In what's called Project Purification. Conversely, now with the UPL source.
Another epic victory! Big win!
Space travel. Warp space. No, not that one. Through their discoveries, the UPL starts colonizing our solar system with great ease. One of their aspiring scientists, Doran Ruth, becomes obsessed with the idea of finding new minerals and fuel sources outside our solar system. Somehow he convinces the UPL to give him 56,000 due to their cybernetics. Now, this might sound philanthropic, but Duran has an ulterior motive for these prisoners. The prisoners had no idea that Duran was using them for a sort of genetic lottery, and he cataloged not only their DNA, but their enhancements.
Which hero do you think you want to be today?
Pretty much, Atlas could determine the survivability of these prisoners.
You don't have to be a witch to find the magic in this world, but it does help.
6,000 prisoners were deemed able to go on the run.
Now, who am I gonna banish from this match?
That were not the ones that were picked were loaded into 4 super carriers, destined for the stars, each boasting high-tech navigation systems and enough rations and supplies to start a civilization somewhere else. Each of the 4 navigators on board the ships were designated for Gantris 6, and so the long sleep begins. During the long sleep, their journey to Gantris, the majority of prisoners were carried biochemists. Atlas, the supercomputer that was really good at reading genes, figured out that 1% of the prisoners had a genetic strain that allowed them to be more psionic. Atlas calculated that just after a few generations, they would be able to inhabit planets not fit for humans. Unfortunately, at some point, the navigation systems just stopped working, erasing the coordinates not only for Gantris 6, but also for Earth itself. All 4 supercarriers blindly went through space until their warp drive.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Ships end up in the Cthulhu sector, with their engines destroyed and their life systems barely functioning. Each ship has to try to make an emergency landing on their nearest celestial body. The ships Reagan and Serango crash land on the planet Moja, sadly due to the Serango's massive system failure. It ignites on entry to the planet and blows up on it.
not anyone's sidekick. But I tend to lost souls, like a shepherd tends to his flock.
Another of the super carriers, Argo, landed on the planet.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
On the landing of the super carrier, I wonder by who. And then there was the last.
I know a nice little karaoke bar nowhere. Maybe you could try it out there.
Which landed on Parsona, a planet very recognizable to anyone that's played it.
And if you happen to need a backup dancer.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh boy, here they come! The cosmos heals you. I feel better already. Quantum magic. Your souls unite.
I was worried. I like the cold.
Focus Angela, focus Angela. Focus range.
Maximum pulse! The legend will live on, Quill. I will make sure of it. The cosmos heals you. Some assistance, please. Quantum magic.
One of those fringe worlds is Marasara, and the first place the Zerg infest. But we'll get to that later. With the Confederacy teetering on domination of the sector, the Moraean Mining Company and the Kalan Shipping Guild join forces and create the Kelmorian Combine. Things come to a head when the planet Char is exploiting resources, and thus they're ahead of us.
Born again! By the eye of Agamotto!
Pretty much sends the KMC, the Kelmorian Combine, to a figurehead status. Even with all the
we should give these humans good reason to hate.
There's still a chance
and
to
the
stop
old
them.
families start vying for power. Corruption and evil ensue, and the populace isn't too happy.
That one hurts.
One planet is populous that's really got it.
We hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
Much better.
Better stop that vehicle.
Here they are now. I feel like myself again. By the eye of Agamotto! Maximum pulse! Extermination! Rebirth!
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
Apocalypse nukes and pretty much glass the surface of the planet. Even though they nuked the planet, they didn't kill Arcturus, who was in high orbit, watching the whole entire thing happen. If you thought this would stop the
Better stop that vehicle!
well, you're wrong. Following literal nuclear genocide, the sons of Warhol find themselves in the
I feel like myself again.
Now or never! Stop them!
By the eye of Agamotto!
My power cannot be quelled.
But there is a progenitor race called Zelnaga. The only thing you need to know about the Zelnaga now is that this is given
Much better.
You're welcome. Ready to get your yarn on?
Down to 30 seconds.
Enjoy the air!
You belong to me!
Maximum pulse!
Final 10 seconds.
Got one.
We'll have to keep fighting until
My power cannot be quelled.
My good deed for the day. Boy, does the Overmind like to evolve.
the current score is 0-2-2. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
Also smartly divides itself into a hierarchy.
Be wary.
creating
No
Cerebrus
timeline
gigantic
exists where
versions of
Magneto
something
yields.
I didn't
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Swarm. From the Cerebrus, they delegate their powers to the queens and overlords. Even though the Overmind is semi-sentient, it lacks free will. During its creation, Amon secretly places a directive into the Overmind, where it has to assimilate with the Protoss, creating some sort of super race. It's interesting to think about because at the end of the day,
I will never allow Krakoa to suffer the same fate as Genosha.
the Overmind is
you attack. Get ready.
Assimilates them, making sure the
You are even cuter than Rocket! And apparently just as feisty too. Nice.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Maximum pulse!
I was fine, but thank you.
Rebirth is a mutant's greatest gift. You need not
Get that vehicle moving again!
This is real firepower!
By the eye of Agamotto! You shall not be harmed!
Armor patch here! Hey up!
This was the other side of the essence.
Watch this spot!
Get that vehicle moving again!
I am strengthened for battle.
You belong to me!
I'm doing this my way!
I am ready to put on a show!
I turn to darkness! Enemy in front of us! The pain was
Why did? Fuck you, Diff.
your last mistake.
I'll get you to Avengers Tower in no time.
I am strengthened for battle. Maximum pulse!
This is real firepower!
By the eye of Agamotto!
Only 60 seconds left.
The Sorcerer Supreme lives once more. I'm opening a portal.
Gods come down and say, find more technology.
Pentagram of Ferrara. By the eye of Agamotto!
Down to 30 seconds.
Getting this robot over the tower.
Ready to fight right now.
The final 10 seconds.
Zelnaga actually want to destroy the Crybabies, which is kind of true.
This is real firepower!
I am ready to put a final score. 0-2-2.
You don't want to mess with them. The tribes cannot stop the Zelnaga or the Tal'Darim from growing, and
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
earlier. The Protoss can't just put each day and say, gosh, a day. Going to this prolonged civil war and ask for everything. Their psionic bond pretty much is negated.
Not everyone took to his words already. You know, at times, there were offenses to specific communities. But with that said, this is not the time to focus on that. We are focused on this tragedy. Speaking of this tragedy, is this a moment for your party to reflect on political violence? Is it a moment for us to think about the responsibility of our political leaders and their voices and what it does to the masses as they get lost in misinformation, disinformation that turns in and spills into political violence?
I say both parties, you know?
Now, I'm not exactly sure if karma exists, but consequences sure do. Now, everybody remembers this guy. He celebrated right after the passing of Charlie Kirk. Literally seconds after the camera pans to this guy here, right after Charlie Kirk was shot, and he's celebrating. Well, he got fired. This guy right here has been fired from his job. And he's not the only one. There are a ton of people that have lost their jobs today all over the United States for putting up such crazy rhetoric and saying some of the most outlandish things on their social media pages, like they can't get fired for it. But lo and behold, it's happening all over the place. Would you want somebody crazy like that working for you that's celebrating the death of another person? Probably not if you're a regular, sane human being. Now, rhetoric is the reason that we're probably here in the first place. Let's get into it.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Fired from my fucking job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my fucking job. I was just fired from my fucking job. Now I have nothing but this. I have nothing but this website. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Alrighty, hey everyone, welcome back. So, War is officially now here, launched a couple of days ago, and the first few days have been kind of rough for the game, to be honest.
30 seconds before you
At
attack.
the very least,
Get
I would
ready.
described it as a mixed bag, because on one hand, players are saying
This is not how I was expecting this day to play out. Never a dull moment for our crew.
Look at so many sets too, but a lot of people agree between reviewers or player sentiment, despite the negative stuff.
You made a plan.
A lot of people agree, like
I
the
guess there's a first time for everything.
The game itself is quite good. The gameplay feels great, really
The battle starts in
structure with the world that they've done,
4,
lots of interesting
3,
content between
2,
the main story and
1.
side stuff, and people are liking the story, the narrative, the dialogue, and the humor. Or me, I could take it or leave it, to be honest. I like the splashes of humor in what's otherwise.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
So yes, all of that stuff, like people usually just dying. But at the same time, for what seems to be quite a lot of people, it's been absolutely experience, primarily that's what it is. Very performance and many glaring technical issues that the game has, which I also 100% agree with because I experienced them myself when I went about reviewing the game. In fact, looking back on my review now, I had a bit of a clairvoyant moment there when I said it started out really, really bad. And I'll just say this, like, if the majority of player base has anywhere near what I experienced, I feel like myself again. Terribly wrong.
The moon haunts you!
Review into oblivion, and rightfully so. I went on to say, basically at this point, I'm sitting here hoping that the recent patches that came through will iron out the ready to get your yarn on?
Uninvited guests.
Because otherwise,
Get that vehicle moving again.
it's going to be... That's me. And it didn't.
This is real firepower! This is real firepower!
resulted in a lot of really bad reviews. So currently the game is sitting at a mixed review. It's got over a little over 7,000 reviews. And that is up rather drastically because in the first day, negative. Most negative score. And I think the last time I looked was at like you're ready for that. That is.
It's spider time!
Get the game to start. Menu. I'll patch you up.
Do not expect me. Our enemy has been spotted. Team play. That's me.
This one here, gameplay is fun, but the crashing frame issues on a
armor packs here.
It's pretty unacceptable for a 7-year-old game. I think that's not helping much either. Like it's a full premium price tag here, and to have such terrible performance while after spending a lot of people a lot of money, not great. And it just goes on. Another negative review, terrible optimization, another Unreal Engine 5 casualty. You're welcome. It's not worth buying in the current state if you have NASA. That's another thing though. People on NASA be careful recording. Yeah, even if you have a NASA power computer, a lot of people are still doing it. It seems like a lot of pilots
This is real firepower! This is real firepower!
High issue range, DLSS frame gen, and I'm like, pretty much all things are dangerous. You're welcome to frame gen. If you're like hovering in the 30s, 40s, 50s,
they shall not escape
frame gen. Certainly not a one-size-fits-all.
Okay. I'll patch you up.
Again, the reviews, it just goes on and on.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
And pretty inevitably, in all of them, the top line is performance, optimization, just technical problems. The game's not in good state. And it's not even just like Steam users who are reporting this issue. And someone pointed me to a clip here where they were promoting Borderlands 4 on Conan O'Brien's Gamer segment.
I'll patch you up.
Like bubbles around some games and makes some Conan O'Brien jokes. And they didn't look at it as planned while they were recording this.
I feel like myself again.
That's it! Don't let anything stand in your way.
You cracked the game? The guy hits the left bumper and the game
time's over!
This is supposed to be like promotional stuff for Borderlands. Not exactly the kind of movie they want to showcase here. This next part's the best though.
You cracked the game? How? I crashed the game! Could use some love here! This is fantastic! You're welcome!
Needed. So you've never seen this crash before, but what makes this so funny is that when you buffer back to the crash, it says right here, the game has crashed more than once recently.
Armed and dangerous!
The current score is 3, 2, 0.
This is fantastic!
Time to switch things up.
Oh yeah, but the warning
including which
pop-up says the
side
game
you're
has
on.
crashed like several times recently. It doesn't actually say several, but it's at
Who
least
are you
crashed
calling a
more
raccoon,
than
huh?
once
So right heroes can
recently,
make all
according
the
to the error
difference.
message that popped up. So you know, and they go on. It's they're professionals, right? He goes on and tries to like play it off like, haha, oh no, geez, what happened?
I've never seen this crash. This is fantastic! I've never seen this crash. I crashed the game. Sorry, Borderlands 4.
Whatever the reason was, they've got this like promotional segment on Conan O'Brien's show here, and the freaking game crashes. So bit of a detour, but the point being like clearly this game has some technical problems. Even when they're trying to market the game, they can't escape the technical issues. So lots of problems just reported across the board. Now, not everybody is having problems, or at the very least, not everybody is having the same level of extreme issues with the game. And that's kind of the situation where we sit right now. Some people are having extremely bad issues, though, and it seems like a lot of people are having issues. I'm not trying to diminish it whatsoever. So this needs to be something that they address. Now, the reviews have been climbing over time, and I think a large part of the reason for that is like on the first day, people aren't reviewing the entire game on Steam because none of those people have played the entire game. So they're just posting their initial, like, what is the initial experience like? Terrible performance, crashing, when you need to beat the game, when you have multiple instances of the game running, that's going to be the negative, an outpouring of the negative
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
And then as time goes on and people play the game, don't mind me. I'm just dying. It's still probably going to be negative for a while though, until they feel happen. Now that's not all though. Heading over to a few of the social medias here. So this one thread here suggests going in and making some specific tweaks to the indie titles of the game, specifically aimed at combating the volumetric fog that they have. And they posted some examples of some like here's the baseline game with this level of volumetric fog. You know, it certainly like the game does have heavy reliance on that, and it does make quite a big difference. Like here, look at these two side by side. Here's the baseline level, and here it is. Now, really perfectly honest though, when I look at
this is real firepower.
You're welcome. It's far too close. It's just like the edge of that fog starting to I feel like it would be better. I don't love this, like where there's none and it's just like clear all the way to the other side of the moon. I can see that tree. Like I want some distance and perspective creation with something like volumetric fog. It's just way too close here. I feel like there would be a happy medium where like the fog started somewhere behind those pipings, like at the back shoreline there or something. You know what I mean? I think that would be good, but I don't like it. That's the sacrifice to like grab a performance.
I am ready to put on a show.
Got a thread here that suggests that the console version
don't mind me.
Your powers are mine. Playtime and then just closing out.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
That does indeed sound like a good I've not played the game on.
I am ready to put on a show.
Outside of any of the performance discussions, some other things have popped up that I've thought were interesting. For one, going back to the consoles, multiple threads complaining about this.
Relay deployed.
No FOV slider. How does the game not have an FOV slider? It's very motion. You're welcome. Personally, certainly emphasized. This one is particularly interesting. Like no FOV slider 2025 on next gen is crazy. Even Borderlands 3 on console presumably had an FOV slider. And so why not? You might ask, well, this is another performance related thing because the higher your field of view, the more
the moon haunts you.
Games render what you're ready for action. In fact, I don't know if all games, but I remember reading that a lot of games
by the eye of Agamotto.
And everything else disappears. The camera around that stuff you were just looking at like is no longer processed by your hardware. Again!
I'll patch you up.
Again! It doesn't have an visual slider, and that is most certainly due to the fact that you must have found that opening up the FOV any more than what they offer on the baseline, which I'm guessing is something like 85 or 90, that's typically what it is on consoles. Opening that up anymore. You're ready for action! What's interesting though is that I have heard that generally, like the console versions, they haven't been having those performances. That's what it seems
team play. That's me.
Worth noting.
Oh, these keyhole things are dangerous. You're welcome.
Disappearing world bosses. Now I didn't end up mentioning this on the review video, but it is something that hurt.
The moon haunts you.
I'll patch you up. The big dome would appear. You'd go in, and there'd be a boss for you to fight. And all that bubble, the boss would vanish. And sometimes it was really hard to tell. And I would think, like, I don't believe I left a bubble, but the boss still disappeared. I've seen several threads and people discussing this being just kind of something. And one suggestion that I saw was maybe having a time. so that you would let people know, like, hey, you've left the bubble. If you don't get back into it in 5 seconds, the boss is going to vanish. But especially there's been some bosses that have had things around. There's been a couple of times where I've been knocked out of that boss dome, and then the boss will like 5% health.
Against the world!
So kind of discussion about implementation of the game user interface. One that really stood out to me when I saw this thread is the only game I've ever played where you have to hover over a redundant icon to see your
Only
currency.
60 seconds
I
left.
don't quite get that either. So there's that money icon in the bottom right corner when you're looking at your
By the eye of Agamotto!
Why is that icon there? Why have that other icon? Why not just display the currency in the bottom right there? Like, I agree. It feels redundant. It feels completely unnecessary. And then another complaint about the UI was the fact that when you go into the customization, so there's the cosmetic unlocks, you get them while you're playing, completing quests,
This is a nice
whatever,
spot.
There's still a chance to stop them.
side
Down to
missions,
30
a lot
seconds.
of
Better stop
activities.
that vehicle.
And there's like a ton of unlocks.
Suppose that helps. Hold them up. We almost got this. Look who's here.
As you unlock stuff, you have to then scroll down to find what you unlocked instead of
Feel the wrath of the goddess! This is real firepower! You're ready for it!
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
The time in which you can unlock it, is it like alphabetical order? I don't know. As it is, like that happens.
I am ready to put on a show.
Definitely a few like
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
Sure. Now at the same time, while we are talking about the negative side of stuff, don't mind me. Here, there's so much negativity. Almost every post is about the lack of MLB slider crashing in performance. I've barely seen any posts regarding the actual game itself. It's the first game in a long time that I've actually spent for hours and enjoyed. Hardly noticing time flying by.
Better stop that vehicle.
Performance could be better. Capture friendly.
Nice working with you, kid.
Well, why are we just talking about the negative?
You're ready for
because
it.
like there's like multiple.
Only
reasons.
60 seconds
One,
left.
just kind of a negativity bias.
Now or never. Stop them.
Right, and people who have
Systems restart.
Team play. That's me. You're ready for
at least on Reddit, at least in my experience on gaming subreddits, most of what it is negative. There are periods of time where that might not be the case, and I think there are certain communities that are more positive than negative, but it tends to be how it is, especially if there is any, and this is the real thing here with this game in particular, and this conversation in particular,
Down to 30 seconds.
especially if there's any widespread legitimate grievances, and I think that that's definitely the case. Like, yes, I fully agree with what this person is saying, at least with the aspect of, hey, this is a good game.
Against the world.
But other than those issues are things that people either like really are unable to work because the performance of their game is so bad that they're having a hard time settings and able to deal with I would easily
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
as it was in this first
This is real firepower!
Quit showing off.
It's a terrible experience. So if people do anything to get past a terrible performance,
Final
of course they're
score.
going to be spending a lot of time
3, 2,
complaining about it,
2.
and of course they're going to leave a negative review because it does legitimately completely ruin the experience. I have not played a game that
Another epic victory.
was not smooth at all, was constantly stuttering, that I've been able to stomach for more than 5 hours. Like, even not accounting for things like dealing with motion sickness, which is something that I deal with. It's why I rarely play VR games anymore, and it's why first-person shooter, I really need to adjust things. Like, I need to turn off motion blur, I need to make sure the FOV is wide enough, I gotta make sure the sensitivity is in a proper position, because I'm easily prone to that kind of motion-induced sickness when looking at games in first-person. Maybe that partly explains kind of my tendency to prefer third-person shooters, to be honest with you, because I never deal with it there. It's a weird thing, the mind plays tricks on you, right? But no, I totally understand. I mean, I know it can be a lot if you are playing and enjoying a game, if you're having a good time, and that is my tendency. Like, that's what I try to focus on. I try to focus on and spend my energy for, because we are playing video games after all, and the point of them is for entertainment. So if I'm not entertained, if there's something I really dislike, I
tend to move on. But if there's something you want to like, or you're hearing other people are enjoying and you think you would as well, but you're coming up against these brick walls of glaring issues like your game barely runs, I get the complaints. I do. I totally 100%, and I think they're justified. It can be a lot if you're enjoying it from this person's perspective, but just let people air their grievances as far as I'm concerned. While there are a lot of legitimate issues, and I would consider the game's problems with performance right now seriously legitimate issues. Now, it's not all bad. As mentioned, I like a lot about this game. We've also already started seeing some nice little memes here that I wanted to share with you. This is a good one. Really creative. Never seen anything like this before. Get ready for this. Sliding down. This is pretty early on. I think this is still tutorial or just post-tutorial from what I recall. And oh no, not again. Not again. And then this one was pretty good too. This one says, well, this is gonna take a while. My man here playing Vex, he's got a little mini in trouble, and they're trading places. They're like, all right, I'll attack you up there. Okay, I'll meet you. No. Okay, meet me up here. No, all right, we'll fight down here. No, let's fight back up here. Okay, fine, I agree. They can't get on the same page. It's a real problem. And, just a couple of funny little things I saw. I really appreciated. Now, despite all of the, as we discussed, like legitimate grievances and problems people are having that resulted in a lot of the negative reviews that we've seen over on Steam, there's been a lot of positive word of mouth because under all of those issues is I think, legitimately
Pick
good
your
game,
hero
and
or
that has
villain.
resulted
I'm
in
not
quite
judging.
a large player base. As of right this second, there are 225,572
You don't have to be a witch to find the
players.
magic
That
in
is
this
the
world.
all-time
But it
peak
does
for
help.
the game. And interestingly enough, looks like it might be an all-time peak, at least as it refers to Steam concurrent player counts for the Borderlands franchise. Borderlands 3 peaked 5.5 years ago at 93, just under 94,000 concurrent players. Borderlands 2 looks to be the second most popular in terms of concurrence in the franchise, peaking at under 100,000.
I've watched entire realities consumed
And then I
by
went back and I was
chaos.
curious.
I
for
won't
the
let
first
that
Borderlands
happen
game,
again.
Really was surprised that its all-time peak was 24,000 concurrent.
30 seconds before you
A lot
attack.
lower than
Get
I
ready.
expected because I remember the game being popular back in the day, but evidently. And if you're wondering, well, of course, you're looking at the Borderlands Game of the Year edition. When I
That
tried
hasn't
searching
changed.
the Borderlands
In fact,
Not
we're
Game of the
closer
Year
than ever.
edition, there was no
Whether we
concurrent
like
player
it or not.
account because
Are you guys sharing a studio in Hell's Kitchen
that
now?
got
I
migrated.
get it.
The game,
Rent's
the
been
Borderlands
skyrocketing.
Steam page got
It's actually a
migrated
bit more
when they
complicated
released
than
the
that.
Game of the Year edition.
The battle
But the
starts in
concurrent
5,
player counts
4,
still refer to
3,
that original game
2,
because
1.
the all-time peak
All you need to do is
just
capture
under
the mission
2,000
area.
happened
Got it?
13.2 years ago, whereas the Borderlands Game of the Year edition is listed on the Steam
And
pages
I shall
having
be the
launched in
one to balance
2023.
it.
So clearly that wasn't 13
At last,
years
our
ago
enemies show
either. So yeah, just
His shield should be
all right,
nice.
so what's next here? Well, I think best case scenario. That is like priority number 1. Get all of the people who bought your game and are not to play your game.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
I don't know how realistic and how long this will take, but clearly what they aim for prior to release.
Spider-Man, watch out!
A nice deep freeze.
Then obviously the big bugs that are occurring. I haven't seen a ton of these pop up. I guess like Vex's minions bouncing back and forth like that. Actual bugs from that.
I disappear.
Well, quite well. So yeah.
You're not going anywhere. A nice deep freeze.
Watch out, they're heading our way! This is real firepower!
And then after that, maybe into and of itself. We've got some issues.
Self-guided firebombs? Yikes!
Talk about it in another video. At this point, though, I would say to wrap it all up, like I genuinely think Borderlands 4 as a game is very fun. I love the gameplay.
I
The
want
open
to make
world
a
is
statement.
really cool. There's a lot to do, a lot to explore. Really enjoyed going through that process, and it's just been a plain old good time to play while it's running good, and that's the big factor here. Because if it's not running well for you, you're not going to be having a good time. Clearly, they have some massive issues.
Armed and dangerous!
Running some rather high-end hardware, there's a good chance you won't. Just best to wait it out. Like, if you're not in a rush, you're not in a hurry. A lot of people aren't. There are a lot of people who are having issues, but there's also a lot of people who aren't. It's a mixed bag. If you have the Steam refund policy, maybe that's the answer. Maybe you don't. You'll know within the first hour if you're having a big
It's Spider time!
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Yeah, there you go. That's it for really ultimately.
This is real firepower! Watch out, they're headed away! I like these odds.
The launch of Borderlands first will go for you. Have you been playing? Performance or not? How would you rate the game?
My work here is not done.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
I don't know how that happened.
Ultra
yeah.
Supreme.
Flying out of the trees and reacting.
That's better.
There's not a single franchise that has as much fun as
Armed and dangerous! Like, I'm getting close to being done with Monster Hunter Wilds. And like, it's like the games where like I'm no longer, I'm just like playing it kind of for fun, I'm not like grinding anymore. The Pirate Yakuza game is so fun. And after I finish that, I'm gonna play another Yakuza game too. These games are amazing.
You get a weapon, you get a weapon, single one of these games that sit permanently on my hard drive waiting to give me joy. But one of the things I find most interesting about Yakuza is that it shows how
You'll have to keep fighting until we have clear.
accentuating how
Control C!
quantum magic. You make something that isn't fun. Like, let's say, for example, I don't know, you throw the GDP of Bosnia on making a pirate game, and then you don't even put any shipboarding in it. Or how about you're making a new addition to your franchise all about jumping?
It's like, imagine, this is what's a shield. How nice. It's like, imagine being Ubisoft. I require the better part of the decade making pirate games.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
It doesn't even make pirate games. They make a spin-off game that just totally blows you out of the water.
You've captured more than half of the mission area.
It's like
Keep going.
you're losing a race to a person who's not even in it.
Watch out, they're headed our way! Still, this is like an entire character that can almost show
Armed and dangerous!
Born again!
I am born a nuisance. I tried to play that one where they do the batting and the explosive things in this game, and I could not fucking figure it out. I was so bad.
Supreme.
Second, I'm like the John Daly of Putt Putt. That's right, I'm severely
This guy, by the way,
in a second. I'm like the John.
This guy, I watched a video about this dude. This dude's a fucking legend. Like, he is. He's a fucking legend. Like, yeah,
perfection
all he
is
does smoke
unattainable,
cigarettes,
but
drink
that should
Diet
not stop
Coke, and
us
eat
from
candy.
trying to achieve it.
Daily of Putt Putt. That's
Yep.
right, I'm severely overweight and I have a gambling problem. What the fuck are you gonna do
He beat
about
Tiger
it?
Woods.
30 seconds
No,
before you
didn't he
attack.
beat Tiger
Get
Woods
ready.
while he was drunk? I think it was
Does
even more
anyone
than
wish
that.
to find out if they're worthy?
Yeah, or
Come
maybe he was
on,
drinking while he was doing the tournament. Yeah, exactly.
There's Cap, James
The hungover. Okay, yeah. There you go.
guy.
Always drunk.
And that hole is a gentle touch. I'm telling you, it's way harder to
That's a good one.
than it is to win
The
it.
battle starts in 5, 4,
Or the
3,
trick could be aiming
2,
your balls towards the
1.
audience and then cranking it as hard as
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Nice.
Or the trick could be aiming on top of the hole and cranking the ball in the opposite direction of the wind.
Oh.
A shield. How nice. That's what I do. Cosmos heals. I require some aid. You get a weapon. You get a weapon. And even better, we just used on regular golf. Can't get
Capture the mission area!
It happens to the best of us. Yeah, the trick here is taking.
It's like, dude, this is like Mario Party but with Japanese gangsters.
$50 and heading on down to a poorhouse in Chihuahua.
Oh.
See, what did I tell you? History is written by the authors with pirated Adobe software.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man! Your powers are mine!
Disappear!
Armed and dangerous!
This is the one I did. Yeah.
Again!
Imagine what you can do with more arms.
Yeah,
again!
I sucked at it. I was so bad.
You're ready for action!
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
I'll patch you up. Come on, you little freakback. You better get in that goddamn hole.
Relay deployed! It ain't cheap! You're ready for action! Ultron's wasted. I want the thruster.
I remember.
Come here so I can hit it! You get a weapon! You get a weapon!
It was at like some party, and he played some games. He spent $40 on it. I'm pretty sure he got
Some pep in my
and it
step.
wasn't
Things are
even the
gonna
one he
be
wanted.
different this time.
The worst part about it is, like, now it'd be kind of awkward if I posted the video, but I made a video of him doing that, and like he was playing this other game, and he was like gambling on 2 machines at the same time at this like random fucking arcade place. It was nuts, man. Post it. There's a lot of content threads on this channel.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Disappear!
This is real firepower! Ready for action? I could eat for the
I conquered the one-shot challenge so hard they had me redo the same level over and over so they could marvel at my great
Jesus.
I have spotted an enemy joint. The audacity, you know, you're the fool. That's what I think,
What the
bitch.
fuck kind of
Speaking
game
of
is that?
ass, that takes us back around to Ubisoft, but I just gotta tell you about the Coliseum minigame first.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Coliseum minigame all day. A lot of people think the Coliseum is just some kind of condensed way to enjoy all the pirate parts of the game. But what we're actually trying to figure out here is what makes it the strongest. You're ready for that? Like deadly instead of Spartans versus ninjas.
Armed and dangerous! Again! Your powers are mine!
Yes, the guy gets it. It's actually, you didn't finish the game. Most games I eventually finish off. That's just how I am.
That must be really I'll patch you up.
Child support payments free. Everything in life can be fixed with just a little bit of drifting, and also the best crew
Yeah, that
you
is
can
really good.
possibly get your hands on. Your crew is gonna be who boards with you, fights with you, and I
Well,
the
you
better
can't
the
expect
friends,
to win
the
'em
higher
all.
your level will be, and the more you know, blah blah.
Why
blah,
there
blah,
is
third
a
shit.
shark
Most
just
important
spawned?
thing about your crew is collecting all the water. Am I right or am I right? Here's a few ways.
So you just collect all the hose and you can have them work on your pirate ship and fight for you?
First, you can demonstrate your value to the chick that runs the door.
Oh my god.
What game is this? Is this in the pirate Yakuza? This is Yakuza. I've been looking for this game for years.
Throwing game.
Oh!
Am I wooing you with my prowess?
Man.
Are your loins tingling? Are your loins tingling? Join my crew, please.
Oh.
Oh. Second, you can do the Love Broker side quest, where you assemble a harem for your good.
Is that? Yes, it is. Wait. That's the fucking chef. It's a real guy? This is a...
Which hero do you think you want to be today? Now, who am I gonna banish from this match?
Police are often met with all kinds of dangerous people, but what happens when instead they have to face 200 IQ suspects who know the law better than they do?
When's the last time you smoked weed? I blew zero, so now you're trying to think I smoke weed. That's what's going on. You can't do that, man. You really can't do that. Absolutely I can.
CB Cotton joins us outside the jail in Spanish Fork, Utah, where the suspect is being held. Kai, CB.
Hey, Brian. Yeah, the next major development in this case, formal charges to be filed against Tyler Robinson, who, yes, is being held here at the Utah County Jail without bail after a 33-hour manhunt. So according to a probable cause affidavit, Utah authorities have recommended charging him with several state charges to include aggravated murder. Investigators have also recommended charging him with felony discharge of a firearm causing seriously bodily injury and obstruction of justice, capital first-degree felony conduct. Fox has also learned there are active discussions within the Justice Department to bring a federal charge or charges, and that the federal death penalty is in play under U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi. Utah's governor explaining yesterday there were major clues connecting Robinson to the crime.
You can count on me. I believe that the round has been recovered, and so that evidence has been taken back to Quantico to be processed. This is someone who hated Charlie Kirk and hated his message and hated what he was doing, and decided to use political violence to end his life.
We know this case far from over. Yesterday, the police were seen outside the home of Robinson's parents in southern Utah, gathering around a large truck, wearing gloves, taking and reviewing images. And the gray Dodge Challenger, believed to be owned by the shooter, was also towed away. Police said this is the car that was spotted on campus surveillance video hours before the shooting. And neighbors are also reacting to the news that Robinson's family helped turn him in.
I'll patch you up.
For all of us, parents would do the same. I'm not shocked. I am not shocked.
Armor pack's here. Hey up.
I was fine. Thank you. Everybody's name is red.
You're welcome.
Everybody's stayed.
Thanks. Almost.
Jeff Gray, the Utah County Attorney, has said formal charges will be filed against Robinson this upcoming Tuesday. That's when the 22-year-old will make his first court appearance, and it will be a virtual hearing. Rachel, Kevin, Ryan, back to you.
Stevie, they keep saying that notice there's no violence, no one's blowing up cars, there's no protests in the streets. Is that what you've noticed?
This is real firepower!
And I think that really
Us against the world!
sides choose to handle the political discourse. People are very upset, they're somber, but I've not seen any messages encouraging anyone to go out there and seek what I am doing is wanting to double down with the message that he engaged in. Peaceful political discourse.
You're halfway there. Keep going. I am ready to put on a show.
You're ready for that point yesterday, in particular, because they say this way.
That's the boost I
And immediately you'll see massive protests, looting, fire, people on one side.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Always glad to help. I also was tough because
You're like, that's what I needed.
indeed.
We got our orders.
Let's get to that.
Things are gonna be different this time.
We didn't want it to be somebody from our great state. I know the Beehive State pretty well, being a Colorado kid, but I was really heartened to see how the community writ large was prayerful.
Relay deployed.
They were
It ain't
calm,
cheap. I know.
and everyone seemed
You're
resolute
welcome.
that this eventually would come to an end, and thank God they caused it.
Yeah, well, the governor of Utah said that he was absolutely certain this was a lone person. I don't know how he could be so certain. Frankly, I don't even know how the FBI can be so certain right now. But whenever they come out very early,
Vehicle reached the checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
but he did also point the finger at us.
We're off to West Tappy Machine.
It was a fair place to listen.
You might want to look over here.
We believe that this is a watershed in history. The question is, what kind of watershed?
You get a weapon. You get a weapon. You get a weapon.
Behold the god of
Biologically,
Better than Aunt May's chicken soup.
historically, we have not
I'm gonna get some revenge.
in a way that we are capable of processing those types of violent.
You're ready for
By the way, we've seen another one with a gruesome stabbing very recently that went viral. This is not good for us. It is not good to consume. Social media is a cancer.
You're halfway there.
And I would encourage, again, I would encourage people to log off, turn off, touch grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community.
You might want to
He's becoming an actual figure. Here's what he's doing instinctively to send that message out. I got no place for you know what? I want to hear more from the FBI.
Together to victory.
I don't want to wait 3 weeks to hear about the remake.
This is a nice spot.
I am ready to put on a show.
That's the boost I needed.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
This is real firepower. Team play. That's me.
So much distrust.
There's still a lot of answers.
Yo, there's a tree to save. Don't mess with the amazing
attempts on President Trump.
You're welcome.
Don't know what happened.
Step in my step.
Listen, I think there's healthy skepticism that you feel in your
Us against the world.
all the way across America, especially among conservatives. Yeah, they understand Cash Patel, Dan Bongino.
I'll patch you up. Someone scratch my back.
Oh my God, the FBI.
That's tasty.
There's a lot of questions, and
Those guys are about to shoot at us.
is on the line in this case.
You're ready for action. Relay deployed. It ain't cheap. You get a weapon. You get a weapon. You get a weapon. See, I'm flarking.
Tell us that. Don't act like you're in control if you're actually not.
The New York Times said yesterday.
Only 60 seconds left.
This is real firepower.
Can you imagine they're doing it to Robert Mueller? We don't stop until we reach Yggdrasil. I'm Stu Gizzi. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
Vehicle reached the checkpoint. Keep up the
Subscribe to the
momentum.
Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
Please, we're hurt.
Following breaking news in the assassination of influential conservative activist Charlie Kirk, NBC News sources confirming a suspect is now in custody. He's been identified as Tyler Robinson, a
22-year-old man from Utah.
All of this follows a massive manhunt of dangerous shooting in Utah. It also follows the FBI's release of new images and videos.
We've got our mission. On to the world.
To hold a news conference to expect to learn more of the circumstances under which NBC's Morgan Tusky, actually with the president himself across the street here in New York on Fox and Friends breaking this news.
Don't let anything stand in your way.
Yes, been a correct stunning development this morning. From doing this interview saying that he had a high degree of certainty that law enforcement officials had a person in custody that they believe.
I am ready to put on a show.
This is real firepower!
Utah Valley University. Since then, we have learned more details.
Us against the world.
Behold the god of thunder!
Yesterday saying that this person of interest that they shared to be a college-aged male. That pairs with the fact that Robinson is 22 years old. According to the president, Savannah and Craig, we're also hearing that it was someone very close to Robinson who recognized him from either the images or the video and then contacted law enforcement, and that began the process of bringing him into custody. We're hoping to hear more details. And
You get away! You get away! You get away!
That all went down here in the that should begin any minute now, but it has been fast developing videos late last night by authorities and FBI Director Cash Patel was in attendance. They did not take any questions at that time. They simply said, this is the individual just moments after firing the shot.
That's the amazing Spider-Man!
He then lowered himself and shoved him onto the ground. Officials say that they left behind a crucial trail of evidence. DNA on that rooftop ledge, a shoe print on the ground, and then a high-powered rifle in a nearby wooded area. Let's go!
This is real firepower!
One thing we have yet to hear from the shooter is calling this a politically motivated assassination. We get to see any particular piece of evidence
The
that
current
would lend
score
itself
is
to showing
3,
this person's
2,
state of mind
0.
or motivation,
Time to
political
switch things up,
ideology,
including
anything
which
of that
side
nature.
you're on.
This is where this investigation is really now going to dig
Who are
in
you calling a
to
raccoon,
anything
huh?
Robinson
The right
may
heroes
have
could make all
in his
the difference.
possession at a residence, on his phone, on a computer, and so that is where the investigation stands on that front. Now that this individual is in custody, I should point out that this campus, this community, was not put on lockdown for a long period of time because officials believed that this was a targeted attack and that they did not believe anyone else was at risk. Certainly a lot of relief in this community right now.
Morgan Chesky there. Morgan, stand by. This news conference is getting underway. Let's listen in.
Director Cash Patel and Sheriff Mike Smith. We also have with us Utah DPS Commissioner Bo Mason,
They'll be coming in 30
Lieutenant Governor
seconds.
Deidre
Stay
Henderson,
strong.
FBI Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, and local and federal law enforcement partners. Following the remarks today, Governor Cox, Director Patel, and Commissioner Mason will take questions. Thank you.
Are you guys sharing a studio in Hell's Kitchen now? I get it. The rent's been skyrocketing.
It's actually a bit more complicated than that. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Without being afraid first.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
That's the post I
On the
need.
evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the sheriff's office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah Sheriff's Office and senior investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional footage from UVU surveillance.
This is real firepower!
Approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th.
My
in which he is observed on video in a plain t-shirt, light-colored shorts, with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th. In a conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk, who's coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that
That's the boost I need.
also stated fantastic! Also investigators interviewed that roommate who stated that he and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message.
I am ready to put on a show.
These photos consisted of various messages, including content messages explaining to the particular with an emoji icon and
This is real firepower!
The need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush. Messages related to video.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
And a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of the scope of the rifle being unique. Messages from the contacts were also mentioned that he had changed.
Only 60 seconds left.
I know there's been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings. Those bullet casings, and I'll share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered the rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 3-06. Mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle.
This is real firepower!
Inscriptions on the three fired casings read.
I am ready to put on a show.
Arrow symbol, right arrow. I'll patch you up. Symbol and 3 down arrow symbols. Second casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow."
Behold the God of Thunder!
Relay deployed. U-R-A-L-M-A-O.
Final score: 3, 2, 0.
We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who has worked seamlessly together.
Another
Local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged, reviewing videos, helping us with sending in tips, and helping us get to this point. I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case. They will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process as well. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah. But
Who are you calling a
grateful that
raccoon,
at this
huh?
moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter
Who am I
in
gonna
our
banish
nation's
from this
history.
match?
With that, I will now turn the microphone over to the director of the FBI, Catch.
This film, when we did it was so bad. At least I thought. Right. And even my manager, we both went out. I think we both retched together in the alleys. We tried to buy it back and burn the negative.
Which film?
First Blood.
You're kidding.
On my shoulder, we tried to buy it back and burn the negative.
You thought it was a bad movie?
Hi, I'm Danny Boyd. So, First Blood, Rambo to the uninitiated, is not some gratuitous, emblematically excessive 80s action movie. It's a very early 80s post-Vietnam War film and character study that, just happened to kick off a major seminal 80s action movie franchise.
You'll
the
need a
story of a
top-notch
soldier
team
who
to
brings
win
the
this
war
one.
back with him in a very visceral and very tragically violent way, pushed unfairly to his limits by a society that just doesn't want him anymore. It's as good as the people who love it say it is, and it's nothing like what the people who discredit it think it is. It could have been, it almost was, until Stallone had a geniusly simple way of transforming the movie in an edit from a 3-hour barrage of firefights and corny one-liners to a tight 90-minute and social comedy.
Just another smart-ass trip. I said, here's a good idea. Cut out all my dialogue. Every line. Other people fill in the blanks. Like Greek
30
chorus,
seconds
and
before
I
you
think
attack.
that worked.
Get ready.
What? A good supply of body bags.
Now, the truth is,
Hey, I saw that
Stallone is
turret
being
thing
slightly
you did.
hyperbolic.
How much you want for it?
Interestingly, yes,
for
First
sale.
Blood is
What, are you
largely
kidding?
told from the
Everything's
perspective
for
of
sale.
other characters
Maybe
in
for
the
other
movie,
people.
from biased characters on the outside looking in.
Shooting at us, Will. Come on, I wasn't taking
Nothing here.
But it's the movie's balance of exposition and third-person
The battle
subjective
starts in
perspective
5,
with
4,
very well-written
3,
and very
2,
well-performed moments
1.
of sympathy and character
All you need to
choice
do is
from
capture the mission
bookending
area.
this
Got it?
movie that are really
What has Victor gotten us into this time?
Hostiles up front. Resist.
You only need to watch the first scene of First Blood to understand what kind of guy Rambo is at his core.
Excuse me. Can you tell me this? Where Delmar Barry lives?
I'll patch you up.
What I think are some of Stallone's best delivered is in just a few brief lines of dialogue.
Found trouble. Don't mind me. I'm just dying. Armor packed here.
We understand a couple things from this exchange. That Rambo's regret, his heart,
You're welcome. I am strengthened.
and a heart that's broken.
I'll patch you up.
Feeling lost, unit,
Those guys are about to shoot at us.
he enters into the small
This is real firepower. Nice.
Feeling fantastic.
Team play. That's me. You're ready for action.
just and his motivation. He's
Armor packs here. Pay up.
told to keep walking.
See, I'm Clark
And this is where Rambo, as a protagonist, is forced to make a decision. In a couple weeks, I'll have a video out delving even deeper into Rambo's character role as a rebel protagonist.
Help get that vehicle to its
Rambo makes a
destination.
pivotal decision to turn around and walk back in the way of
Team play. That's me. The Vishanti guide us to
for
retreat.
which he is arrested.
Don't see Wolverine go down.
How you do it, you decide.
I'll
right
patch
now.
you up.
Rambo's actions in First Blood are almost always met with a disproportionate
More bad guys. Just what we
It's what
need.
drives the fun of the movie. And one of my favorite non-violent
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man. The Eye of Agamotto.
Us against the world. Got your back.
Rockets launching
He
again.
smacked it away. They verbally
You're
threatened
welcome.
him. He calmly spoke again.
I'm fucking helpful.
$50 fine. You don't look to me like you can pay.
I think it's so subtle and hilariously done.
You're going in front of that judge.
But for this, he's entitled no further, sell, and effectively torture.
You're ready for it.
I feel
Throughout his
renewed.
containment, Rambo's PTSD from the war is triggered. He reacts instinctively by breaking free and escaping the current situation. He didn't ask to be put in that position. He hadn't done anything wrong. He has no control over his environment. But he felt that it's over, and they trace after him.
Battlefield ready again. Armor packs here. Hey up. Castle wing down. Fighting.
The middle act of the movie was not
Fucking helpful.
Rambo is a corner
This is real firepower.
He may respond
I'll patch you up.
but despite active attempts on his life, Rambo does not defend.
You deliver this to Nulls, he's done for.
Almost there.
He
Don't turn
deputies
back
out,
now.
sheriff's trigger having who dies, it isn't Rambo.
I'll patch you up.
He was helplessly hanging to a cliff. He chose to undo the seatbelt and hang out.
This feels empty.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
thing, right? I swear to God.
The
Armor
audience,
patch here.
script
Hey
and
up.
lines Stallone and the other writers producers, Rambo's tragedy is that he's a victim of circumstance. And it's here where the story begins to be told.
You're welcome.
Feeling fantastic.
Because
Armor
all
patch
the
here.
sheriff's department
Hey
sees
up.
is
Guess
one of
there's anyone willing to help?
I am strengthened for battle. Fucking hurt.
Shields up.
This is real firepower.
Against the world. Don't let anything
Amazing Spider-Man. On the move again. Oh, I'm gonna get some revenge.
For much of this act, Rambo remains a phantom.
Goddamn scarecrow! Scarecrow shot all.
As Mitch says,
Armor patch here.
Get that vehicle moving
now that
again.
we as an audience have gained some understanding of our hero, we get to take a step
The
back.
keyholes
To
are more
observe
dangerous than
the
his morning
engagement of the cops, not just intellectually on paper, but viscerally and through action and consequence.
You're welcome. See, I'm fucking
While we
helpful.
don't detach from Rambo's perspective entirely,
I'm doing this
the
my
balance
way.
does shift.
Oh my.
It's almost lights out. Better than my grand power.
I could not let your beacon stand.
Armor patch here. Hey up. I'll patch you up. Team play. That's me.
Don't seem to want to accept the fact that
Much better.
This is real firepower. You're welcome.
Now I see them. So close. This is your big chance.
Here Rambo pronounces it from
I unleash the Vishanti's power. You guys ready to overthrow a king? You're welcome. I could deed for the day.
I know this relic, an ancient onk.
The move.
Shields up. The current score is 3-2-0.
Again, it is largely other
Time to
characters
switch
telling
things
Rambo's
up,
story,
including
interpreting
which
Rambo's
side you're
actions
on.
through their own experiences and biases. If you take
Who
away
are you
the
calling a
sympathy
raccoon,
set up in Act
huh?
1,
The right
then
heroes
in a
could make
certain
all the
twisted way,
difference.
this could almost become a movie flipped. Small town sheriff's department hunting down a crazy killer in the woods. We know the actions of the police are built upon false pretenses, but from their perspective, they're the stars of their own movie.
Singleton, where the hell are you?
For the final act of First Blood, Rambo brings the fight back to town. We got his perspective in Act 1, we got their perspective in Act 2, and now worlds collide. They tried to blow him up with a rocket launcher, he decides to blow up their town. Where we end up is Rambo in the police station.
They'll be coming in 30
surrounded
seconds.
with
Stay
no aim.
strong.
He's confronted by Troutman.
Armor packs here! Hey up!
This mission is over.
And this is where we get the second bookend to our sympathy construct. Rambo delivering his monologue. A stream of consciousness, mashing of thoughts, incredibly potent blend, specific and universally
The
human.
battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
3 is a powerful. I had wondered when Doom would finally bring about the end of all things.
I have a friend who was the Air Force. I always guys. Back there, I always fight guys. Who are my friends? Get back here.
Just who I was looking for.
Remember that boy? Blackhead man, I could play his match boxes.
Anyone willing to help? That's much better.
Good medicine. You're ready for action. Looks like we can do some damage here. That is much better.
Shine. I said no, and we kept asking no.
I feel renewed. To admit it anymore.
You're welcome.
I'm going to miss you.
The keyholes are more dangerous. There's more than one.
He's laying there,
It's much better.
I'll patch you up.
Shields up.
Relay deployed. It ain't cheap.
The moon!
Gotta keep an eye on it. Team play. That's me. Needed a little boost. You're ready for action.
A little help, please.
I got you covered. My help has returned.
Bogey here. You're welcome.
It's one of the greatest movies we've
Feeling
time.
fantastic.
But in the original novel First Blood by David Morrell, things ended very differently. Rambo was actually killed by
This is real firepower! This is real firepower!
Hell unleashed!
Now I see them. You're welcome.
We did actually test the death ending.
That is taste. Someone scratch my back. Aren't you in this march?
Us against the world!
But he wasn't irredeemable. He didn't deserve death for his situation and circumstance. Stallone too said he didn't like that ending because he didn't want the movie to send a message that
Things are gonna be different this time.
tunnel for these guys. Had Rambo made different choices? Had he killed civilians and law enforcement? Then maybe.
Relay
we've seen that
deployed.
in
It ain't
where
cheap.
death is a logical and emotional narrative outcome. But not here.
Only 60 seconds
Rambo
left.
just needed a little luck.
The moon haunts you. It ain't cheap. I'll patch you up. I unleash the Bashanti's power.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
A deeper exploration.
Our enemies are near.
Feeling fantastic.
Dichotomy between the way
We need to defend
You're
here.
ready for action.
which is completely true, and why the way much the film story is told creates the perfect canvas to illustrate
Castle went down.
check out my recent video on other classic. And as always, I'm Danny Boyd.
You're ready for action.
Until next time.
Enemy located.
Someone scratch my back.
Sono
curated streaming service dedicated to elevating great cinema from all over the world. Like comic directors and emerging authors, Mubi has always got something new and amazing to discover. And that's because with Mubi, every film you see is hand-selected by a team of curators, real people giving you access to the best of cinema at your fingertips, streaming anytime, anywhere. And if you're in the mood for more sympathetic revenge fantasy,
The moon haunts you!
director of last year's Oscar winner is also streaming. Revenge, though, examines the genre for very community and will surely satisfy that late-night craving for action that I all too often get. You can watch Revenge, Substance, or anything else streaming on Mubi for free with an extended 30-day trial if you go to mubi.com/cinemasticks. Once again, that's mubi.com/cinemasticks for a whole month of great cinema for free.
Don't mind me. I'm just dying. Little pieces of keyholes everywhere. This is real firepower.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
That's yes or no. Have you ever eaten an egg before?
Oh, I'm not gonna make it easy.
Okay, so would that be you scrambled a full chicken?
Better stop that vehicle.
Hold on. You understand it takes an egg to be fertilized?
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Point,
So,
the whole point you're making
hold
is
on.
that
So,
a baby.
since we're doing pop quiz on like human development,
You're ready for it?
Stop them! You know that. Feel renewed.
Tell me when.
I could deed for the day.
But the point is, we could both go back and forth with like trivial facts.
Oh, I'm not gonna make it
woman's
easy.
reproductive system. But here's something we all know. Because God wrote this on the human heart of every individual that says in the book of Romans. We know, deep down, it's wrong to murder a baby. Okay, well let's play this out. What is it?
Not a baby.
Well, okay, so fertilize.
I'll patch you up.
Right.
I am not sure how we'll solve this without you. One less arm, one less problem.
The moon haunts you.
Pulse charge. Fire. Ready for action. Before it's born, I thought it's just an embryo. Would that be bringing my step? But then where was the
Kilos are more dangerous. There's more than one.
Only 60 seconds left.
No, that's not right.
This is real firepower. This is real firepower.
Don't give them another inch.
Has a heartbeat, has brain waves. Okay to abort that.
Thanks.
Moon Knight's on call.
I blew up a keyhole.
Better.
Time to pull. Magneto!
Down to 30 seconds.
Play this out.
Team play. That's me.
Hold strong. We can do this.
Colors, your eye color, temperament, your everything. Hold on a second. It started with something called deoxyribonucleic acid. And your own individual DNA started at the point
The
of
current score is
meeting.
3.
That's where your
2,
journey started.
3.
And so from that point in particular, life begins. Not at birth, not at first words, not at first steps.
Who are you
your
calling
DNA,
a
which is who
raccoon,
you
huh?
The
actually
right
are.
heroes could make all the difference.
There are certain types of villains who aren't defined by cruelty or chaos. They're defined by logic. They argue for evil in ways that make you pause, that make you hesitate, and wonder if maybe they aren't entirely wrong. Their reasoning doesn't shatter under scrutiny. In fact, the more you think about it, the more dangerous it becomes because it starts to make sense. Take Magneto, for example. His ideology is rooted in survival. As a Holocaust survivor, Eric Lencher knows
coming in 30
firsthand
seconds.
what
Stay
happens when a
strong.
minority is demonized and powerless to defend itself. His
This is a
distrust of
nice
humanity
shot.
is a direct response to
There's
history
no
repeating
shooter
itself.
like me,
The
buddy.
films often frame Xavier's dream of coexistence as the right answer. But Magneto's point that humanity will always fear and seek to control what it doesn't understand has weight. His willingness to take
battle starts
extreme
in
measures
5,
is terrifying,
4,
but besides
3,
that, his
2,
logic is airtight.
1.
Mutants will
You
either
have to
take
stop
control
them
of
from
their
securing the
destinies
mission area.
or be
Only
destroyed
60
by those
seconds
in
left.
power. The moral discomfort comes from knowing that if you lived his life, you might agree with him. His philosophy constantly evolves with every betrayal, every loss, and every time his cautious optimism is proven wrong. In First Class, we see the younger Eric driven almost entirely by vengeance. Hunting down the Nazis who destroyed his family, Charles offers him another path, one built on trust and cooperation with humanity, and for a moment, he allows himself to believe in it. But when that fragile alliance collapses and humans immediately treat mutants as a threat, it cements a pattern that will define his life. Every time he reaches for peace, humanity pushes back with fear and violence. This cycle transforms his anger into something more structured, a long-term plan for mutant dominance, not just retribution. It's fascinating how his backstory fundamentally informs his every decision. His belief that mutants should rule, or at least be prepared to defend themselves by force, isn't presented as a thirst for dominance so much as survival imperative. From X-Men film, the audience is always forced to reckon with the truth. Sometimes violence is aimed at people who, by all moral measures, deserve it. The tragedy is that Magneto's drive for protection inevitably transforms into the very oppression he sought to avoid. His logic is airtight from his perspective, which is why his rhetoric often sways even Charles Xavier's studios.
The moon haunts
and beyond, his motivations take on a grim inevitability. Having lived long enough to see wars and genocides repeat themselves, Magneto no longer fights to win. He fights to ensure that mutants will always be strong enough to survive the next purge. Even in Apocalypse, when he briefly retreats from the world to live a quiet life, the murder of his new family snaps him instantly back into the role of a soldier. By the time we reach Dark Phoenix, Eric isn't chasing conquest so much as carving out a safe haven where mutants can exist beyond the reach of human interference. To him, history is a fixed loop of persecution, and the only rational response is to break the loop by becoming too powerful to oppress. Eric's ideals makes perfect sense when viewed through his lifetime of experience. But the methods required to achieve it inevitably cost him the peace he's been seeking since the very beginning. Adrian Wright in Watchmen is one of the rare antagonists who actually lives. His reasoning is cold, calculated, and in his mind, unarguably correct. Humanity is on a path to self-annihilation, and the only way to avert nuclear catastrophe is through a unifying external threat. He's killing millions to save billions. Pretty straightforward. White is what you may call a utilitarian extremist, willing to bring an end to countless lives in order to preserve the species as a whole. He's the smartest man in the world, and he carries that as both a burden and a responsibility. From his perspective, humanity is locked on its vision of self-destruction. Cold War arms race, political corruption, and escalating paranoia are all pointing toward nuclear annihilation. So he starts putting together his plan in the shadows. Killing the comedian, staging an assassination attempt, doing exactly what's needed to accomplish his ultimate goal. By the time the heroes even understand his plan, it's already been carried out. Millions upon millions of people are dead, but nuclear war has been averted, and humanity has been scared into cooperation. His victory leaves no room for a clean moral judgment. He committed an atrocity that almost certainly prevented an even greater one. And unlike most stories where the right answer is baked in, Watchmen leaves that answer open because all the other characters, even the ones we view as righteous, can't provide a better solution. This is one of my favorite films that have the villain winning because the film actually allows his reason to reach. He isn't a madman raving about power, he's already a billionaire. Merely a calm, albeit egotistical, articulate strategist who truly believes he's solving the unsolvable. That ending feels so chilling. quite literally,
30
because
seconds
there's
before
no
you attack.
bargaining,
Get ready.
no way to undo what's been done. After the heroes understand his plan, they kind of don't even want to interfere. The horror lies in the fact that his plan does create world peace. It forces the audience into an uncomfortable moral corner. Was he wrong to act, or are we just unsettled by someone willing to make the call that no one else could? The operative in Serenity doesn't see himself as a villain, and that's the point. He knows the regime he serves is deeply flawed, even corrupt, but he believes in its end goal, a universe without chaos. He's a tool designed to remove anything and anyone that threatens that order. There's no sadism in his actions, only a grim acceptance that building a better world means eliminating those who would destabilize it. He fully expects to have no place in the utopia he's helping to create because it's not meant for men like him. That self-awareness, combined with his unwavering commitment, makes his morality both chilling and strangely admirable. From the moment he steps on screen, he radiates a quiet, almost spiritual certainty. He carries himself like a man who has already weighed every moral cause and paid it in advance. His manner is so composed that you almost forget the brutality he's capable of until he strikes, clean and without hesitation. That restraint makes him more intimidating than any raging warlord, because you sense he's already decided what your fate is before you even meet him. He's not driven by greed, hatred, or ego. He's driven by a deep conviction that the world can only thrive if the dangerous and imperfect are removed permanently. He's indifferent to the suffering he's inflicted upon others, because of the unwavering belief that the better world he serves will be worth every life destroyed to get there. In his mind, the tragedy isn't the killing, it's that people can't see why it had to be done. His loyalty to the Alliance comes from a belief that order is the highest good, even if it requires assassinations, cover-ups, and his pragmatism and devotion to this cruel worldview is very realistic. The architect in The Matrix Reloaded isn't interested in human freedom. He's interested in systemic stability. His conversation with Neo reframes the war between
By the eye of Agamotto!
Inevitability. It's not a matter of good versus evil. To him, the Matrix is the best possible compromise, an imperfect but sustainable reality that prevents total annihilation. His tone is clinical, detached, and infuriatingly logical. The danger of his philosophy is that it makes the rebellion feel like an emotional outburst rather than a righteous cause. If you accept his premise, resistance is still drastic. It's one of the most jarring turns in the Matrix series because it's a dismantling of everything Neo and the audience believe to be true. He speaks in a way that feels alien, likely because his thought process is entirely detached from human sentiment. Every word, every pause is loaded with the kind of existential dread that makes resistance feel almost comical. It's not the booming voice of a tyrant, it's the soft finality of a man telling you the sun will rise tomorrow whether you want it to or not. He embodies cold, dispassionate logic pushed to the extreme. His role isn't to fight the heroes physically, but to explain, with clinical detachment, that choice itself is an illusion within his system. Human rebellion must be mitigated to prevent the total collapse of the Matrix. To him, Neo's struggle is a pre-calculated part of the design, and his worldview strips the rebellion of its romanticism. In his mind, the manipulation of reality is maintenance. He's terrifying because his power is structural, almost as if he's relying on a higher power. The Matrix itself is his body, his weapon, his legacy. You can't punch him, outthink him, or intimidate him, because he has already calculated every variable you represent. For all the rebels' fire and determination, the architect reminds you that they're still operating on a chessboard of his design. No matter how many pieces they take, the board remains his. Anton Chigurh